Okay, today we're going to make meatballs. A lot of people have been asking for them, so I just wanted to show you how I do it. Okay, here are the ingredients. I got 2 pounds of ground beef. I got, looks like about a cup and a half of Italian flat leaf parsley, just the leaves. I got 1 onion, 1 egg, about 6 toes of garlic, a small loaf of good crusted Italian bread, and about a cup of grated cheese. First thing, you want to wash the parsley. So just fill a bowl with some water. Parsley always has like some kind of sand in it usually. So this is the easy way for me to do it. I like to just float it in water. So you fill up a bowl with water and just drop the parsley in, okay? Stir that around a little and then let it settle, okay? Just leave that for a minute. Okay, next thing you want to soak the bread. So again, a bowl of water, just like that. Okay. Then you want to cut the ends off. Okay. And cut it in pieces about like that. And just take the bread and put it in the water. You want it to get soft. Okay. And completely soaked up with the water. Okay, so got the parsley pretty much chopped. I just take it and put it right in with the meat. Just like that. Okay, we're going to dice the onion. This is a Vidalia onion, which I like to use because they're a little sweeter than like a Spanish onion. This is a pretty big onion too, so keep that in mind. Don't forget we got 2 pounds of meat. And you want a fine dice. You don't want any big chunks. So I got my onions diced, I got the garlic, very small dice. Okay, the next thing is you want to caramelize the onions. Some people put the onions in raw, but I caramelize them because it just makes the taste a little smoother and sweeter. I got this, actually, I got to give credit where credit is due here. A long time ago, a very close friend of mine, and I'm sure most musicians know who this is, Lloyd Frink, great trumpet player, used to come over. She loved my kids, and we were hanging out, and I was making these, and she was watching me do it, and I was using raw onions, and she said, Carmine, who she had a very close relationship with, hipped her to caramelizing the onions. So I tried it, and it's the best way to do it, believe me. When you caramelize the onions, you don't want to start with a hot pan. Put a good amount of oil, olive oil, extra virgin, and then just put your onions in. Okay, so you can see the onions are starting to get a little color to them. Okay, now at this point, they're about halfway through, so I add the garlic. Garlic always cooks faster than the onion, so That'll work out good that way. Okay, onions look pretty good. Got a little golden color. That's what you want. Onions are nice and soft. You know, what you're doing when you caramelize these is you're bringing up the natural sugars of the onion to come to the surface. It just makes, it's a better taste than using a raw onion, which will make a sharper taste. This will be nice and smooth. I don't want all the oil that we used, so I'm going to strain the onions into a little strainer. And also they'll cool that way too. Okay? Just carefully put them in a strainer, something like that. You can use a colander, but you don't want all the oil that you use to cook them. Alright, so we're almost ready to make them. So I'm going to take the onions that are cooled a little bit and we drained, put them right in with the meat, just like that. Okay? Then I got 1 egg. Okay? A little salt and pepper. Be careful with the salt because the cheese is salty also. Okay, and there's about a cup of grated cheese. I use the Locatelli. You can use Parmesan. The Locatelli is a little sharper. I like that taste better. And just sprinkle it in. That's enough. Okay, so you remember we took the Italian bread and we soaked it in the water. Okay? At this point, a lot of people put breadcrumbs, which is okay. But I found that when you put breadcrumbs in with the meat and make the meatball itself, they come out kind of rubbery, kind of like spongy. So this is my mother's trick. She'd take the Italian bread, soak it in the water, and you just pick it up and squeeze out all the water that she could. Just like that. Okay, so all my ingredients are in the bowl. Got the ground beef, got parsley, the caramelized onions, 1 egg, Parmesan cheese or Locatelli, and the softened bread. Okay, I put a little salt and pepper. So a lot of people fry them. I don't do that. The meat has enough fat in it, and to me they come better if I do them this way. So I got a sheet tray, put a little olive oil. Okay, you'll notice at this point I got gloves on, as much for sanitary reasons as for technique, and I'll show you in a second. Okay, so you just coat the pan with a little olive oil, just like that. Okay, then you got to blend this together. Okay, and you just do it with your hands. The gloves allow me to do this without it sticking to my hands. For some reason, the texture of the glove works better for this technique. Alright, so I got it pretty well mixed, blended together. You don't want to see any chunks of bread. Kind of looks like confetti a little bit. I got a nice amount of parsley. It's evenly dispersed. Okay, so now we're going to make the balls. Alright? You don't want to make them too big. Okay? About like that. Okay? Now the thing is, when you get the amount you want, press it into your hand and squeeze it. That takes out the air and it compresses them. Then I just roll them in my hand, trying to get as smooth as I can. Okay? And that's what they should look like. Okay? Place them on your pan, just like that. Okay, we'll do one more. So you got about that amount. Want to compress. This is a little big. Okay, compress it in your hand, just like that. And then roll it in your hand. Don't squish them. Kind of just roll it in your hand until it comes smooth. Okay? There you go. Okay, so I made all the meatballs. That was 2 pounds of meat. You can see it makes plenty of meatballs. It's like 16, 17. They're easily, after we cooked them, you can freeze them. What you would do after they're cooked is you would, if you're going to serve them, you can use that sauce that we made for the eggplant the last time, which is pretty basic sauce for pasta, anything like this. So you would cook some sauce and put whatever meatballs you wanted to serve in the sauce, and do not cook them for more than 30 minutes in the sauce. If you cook them too long in the sauce, they'll fall apart. But that will be plenty of time. So I got them all ready to go. We're going to put them in the oven. I got the oven at 350. It only takes about 30 minutes at the most. You don't want to really cook them hard, so they'll stay nice and soft. Okay, so they're cooked in the oven at 350, I would say 25-30 minutes. And you can see they're pretty soft. Okay? So at this point, if you had your sauce, you would take whatever you wanted, how many you wanted, put them in the sauce, and let them cook in the sauce. Definitely no more than 30 minutes, okay? At a very slow simmer, okay? Lots of people, you know, there are a lot of variations for this recipe, you know. Some people like to use a little ground pork along with the ground beef. Super strict Italian recipe calls for pignoli nuts that are toasted, and or they also put golden raisins. There's all kinds of variations, but this is the basic recipe for this, and to me these taste great just this way.